This briefcase has $1 million in it, and this person is about to open it, all because you watched one streamer. If he successfully opens this case, his life is going to change forever. It seems he forgot the code. But first, how did we get here? Who are these sophisticated looking men, you might ask? This is Joko and this is Klaas, two famous TV show hosts in Germany. Coincidentally, they won a bet against their German TV network Pro7 and were given a 15-minute time slot to broadcast anything they wanted starting at 8 p.m. Just so you know, Pro7 is one of the most famous, if not the most popular network in Germany. Hence, Joko and Klaas had to come up with something big. This has already happened before, where they once sent nudes to aliens or put up a memorial for one of the hosts. But this time, they would think of something very different. A treasure hunt for $1 million. In order to pull that off, they convinced Pro7 to split their time to broadcast 7 small riddles over 7 days, with the promise that they will be the hardest riddles ever broadcasted on television. And this is Papaplatte, a famous German Minecraft streamer who, after being urged by a donation, embarked on this hunt as well. The objective was to find the exact location of the treasure containing the bread. However, in order to reveal the coordinates, one had to solve all riddles to gain access to them one fraction at a time. In addition to that, 3 numbers were needed for the case to actually open. Papaplatte and his community instantly started to theorize what this riddle could mean. They came to the conclusion that it had to be somehow connected to binary numbers. Why, you might think? Joko had a donut on his plate which resembled the number 0, and Klaas had a breadstick which stood for the number 1. Therefore, every time when Joko said something, he noted down 0, and every time Klaas talked, he noted down 1. This string of 48 numbers comes out. Papaplatte accidentally divided the string into 6 equally long strings of digits. Little did he know that this would be the perfect pathway to unlocking the answer. The next thing the streamer tried was converting the strings into decimal numbers, but that doesn't really get us near the 3 numbers which are to be found. So instead, he listened to one of his stream viewers and converted these from binary numbers to letters through ASCII. This revealed the word Apache. Papaplatte was astonished because the solution was obviously Apache 207, the name of a German musician who was famous locally. And this nickname featured exactly the 3 numbers which had to be found. After that, Papaplatte and his viewership were one step closer to unraveling the bread.
Welch tiefes Summen, welch heller Ton zieht mit Gewalt das Gras von meinem Munde. Verkündigt ihr dumpfen schon des Osterfestes erste Feierstunde.
This time, only 2 numbers had to be found. A book is being shown with the word yumruk written on it, meaning fist in Turkish. A passage from Goethe's famous Faust 1 was being cited, but one word in the passage was being censored by the sound of a telephone. Bells. Frère Jacques, or Bruder Jakob in German, was played via a telephone after reading the passage, a German children's song featuring the imitation of bells through onomatopoeia. Papaplatte and his viewers were speculating about the references and if the 2 numbers were the page number the citation was to be found at, or the amount of times the bells rang in the children's nursery rhyme. But Papaplatte had a different idea. He found the numbers to be the corresponding keys that they struck on the telephone while playing the melody that occurs when the word bells would usually be sung. The telephone in the video used DTMF dial tones and can be easily traced through a MP3 to dial tone converter to reveal the numbers 6 and 4.
Wir beide sind die 2 Leerzeichen, große Rätselfreunde. Wir lösen eigentlich jedes Rätsel, was da draußen gelöst werden will. Aber jetzt gerade stehen wir vor einem riesen Rätselproblem. Das nun folgende Rätsel, was Klaas heute Oberlauf vortragen wird,
Das checken wir nicht.
ist ein Rätsel für uns.
Raffen wir einfach nicht. Aber vielleicht können Sie oder ihr oder ich sagen soll, uns da helfen. Pass mal genau auf.
1453. Before the kingdom of Branko, there stood a huge army of enemies. One pawn brought to the king an important message, but the king waved him away. Thereafter, all the pawns of the kingdom left, and the king, lost and distraught, was being consoled by his queen. After that, he went out of the gates to confront the enemies alone, but they were nowhere to be seen. Suddenly, 2 bullets flying past him hit the towers of the fortress. They fell forward, left and right, next to the shocked king. Looking back at his falling kingdom, visualizing his troops once more before, his entire world would turn by 90 degrees counterclockwise.
So Papaplatte said, king, queen, pawn? I don't know, but that sounds like a chess game to me. His viewers' minds were blown, and they conjectured and thought about what all of this meant. The year 1453 was the year when Constantinople fell, and the Byzantine Empire with it. In Byzantine, the people played another variant of chess called round chess. But the idea to decode the solution using this method was discarded because they just couldn't figure out how the board was supposed to reveal just one number. Instead, they tried again with the normal chessboard, and this time,
1453. Before the kingdom of Branko, there stood a huge army of enemies. One pawn brought to the king an important message, but the king waved him away. Thereafter, all the pawns left, and the king was being consoled by his queen. He went out of the gates to confront the enemies alone, but they were nowhere to be seen. Suddenly, two bullets flying past him hit the towers of the fortress. They fell forward, left and right, next to the king. His entire world turned by 90 degrees counterclockwise.
Oh my god, bro. Hell no.
This was not a riddle, rather a call to action to sign up for the DKMS to help patients suffering from blood cancer. The people suffering from this deadly disease need the stem cells of another person with a similar gene pattern to be treated for it. So by urging their viewers to register, Joko and Klaas were actively increasing the chance that a patient could be treated and recover. They would give the numbers needed for the suitcase for free if 10,000 people registered for the donation until the next Tuesday, because they wanted to not only change the world for one person, but for many. Papaplatte also mobilized his viewer base to sign up, further helping the cause. Joko and Klaas announced that there were over 17,000 new registrations since yesterday, and thus declared that they would reveal the numbers needed for the suitcase on the final day of the treasure hunt. A poem, one number to be found.
Only one number holds the key. It has been mentioned once before. On the 6th day of the week, one seeks with eyes, not hands, the door. A star utters special words. Alone you must the right ones find. And when a little light goes out, connect them in your mind.
When Papaplatte first heard this, he was completely dumbfounded and referred to it as back in school during French class. Pretty quickly, they found out that the poem was talking about the 4th riddle, which came out on a Saturday, the 6th day of the week. So what or who could the star be referring to that appeared on Saturday?
Hallo, mein Name ist Stella und ich bin 25 Jahre alt.
Stella, the girl in the 4th riddle, whose name is derived from the Latin word for star, is the star referred to in the poem. While this star spoke, a background light went out every time an important word was spoken.
Meine entscheidende Suche, bei der es nicht um 1 Million Euro ging, sondern um mein Leben. Schon nach 6 Tagen konnte eine Spenderin für mich gefunden werden. Die meisten Leute haben bei einer Stammzellspende im Kopf, dass es ums Rückenmark geht. Und nun fragen Sie sich vielleicht, was mit dem heutigen Rätsel ist. Ob hier irgendwo eine Zahl stand und was das alles überhaupt soll.
Papaplatte then went on to write down all the words. 2 numbers.
Guten Abend, meine Damen und Herren, zu den RGB-Nachrichten. Am Berliner Hauptbahnhof wurde eine Glashäufer-Umlaufstatue enthüllt. Für Joko stelle Klaas, so der Künstler, ein echtes Original von großem Format dar. Ein Bildnis gar von einem Manne mit riesigem roten Herzen. Selbst Bundeskanzlerin Angela Merkel ließ sich nicht nehmen, per Pressemitteilung zu gratulieren. Ihre Glückwünsche nutzte sie außerdem für eine kryptische Botschaft an die gesamte Nation. Der genaue Wortlaut: 2262 und 5025. Insider vermuten, sie sei wohl etwas blau gewesen. Nicht rot oder grün, sondern blau. Das waren die Nachrichten. Nun folgt für Sie Achsenzeichen XY gelöst. Ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Abend.
We see Klaas in the RGB News, a fictional news network set up by him and Joko, during which an image of a memorial from one of the hosts said to have been in the news was shouted out by former Chancellor Angela Merkel, who had a cryptic message saying 2262-5025 while she was blue, meaning drunk. The host then emphasized that she wasn't red or green, but blue. Papaplatte then searched for the image shown in the video and put it into Photoshop to track the exact pixels they were referring to. At first he got it wrong because he traced the Y coordinate from bottom to top, as it is usual in a Cartesian XY coordinate system we are used to in math. The chat then reprimanded him for not knowing that in computers, and especially video games, the Y value would increase if you go from top to bottom. The numbers, which appeared to be randomly said by the news reporter, were pixel coordinates leading to another red heart, which he referred to in a speech, and which showed one pixel whose blue value was 61. Here's which coordinates we've got so far. The last riddle must be the biggest and hardest of them all to reveal 5 missing numbers. Motherfuckers don't even say bless you, they just look at you like this. 5 numbers remain to be found. The final image is being slowly revealed. The tension is building up. This image seemed so cryptic and confusing. Papaplatte did not know what to do, but he had about 40,000 viewers who immediately figured it out. This image reminded them of those look through your charger hole memes that were popular, so they used the same exact method to find the final numbers by tilting the image. And so, the coordinates for the briefcase were now fully figured out. After putting it in Google Maps, Papaplatte found that it was in Saxony, a state in the east of Germany. Joko and Klaas revealed the code for the briefcase in their final broadcast. Now, it was time to wait. 20 minutes after the final image was decoded, someone found it. He was invited into the van and given the briefcase. And if you think you're unlucky, just remember that somebody arrived 5 seconds later than the first person, immediately losing the chance to win the $1 million. The person was so overwhelmed that he forgot the code at first. Papaplatte and his stream couldn't fathom it. He was already on a second try. Another wrong guess, and the million would vanish right before his eyes. But then...
Alter! Das ist deine Million! Ja!
Ja, ich danke Papaplatte.
And this is the end of a very wholesome tale and a show which actually had a win-win situation. Not only did someone get blessed with $1 million, but many people were being helped through the registrations to DKMS. Thank you for watching our video. Researching this was a ton of fun, and even though most German viewers probably already know what happened, we hope it was entertaining for all of you. See you in the next video.